pets look. They're going to look quite different from your existing Bezogis. However, to keep it fair, we would be the color ratio of your pets would be exactly matching the same ones as your Bezoge pets. It's just the shape of your Bezoge pets would be changing. We have also updated the city in the mountain, which we call Bullish. We have made it much bigger and more bullish. So some screenshots of that would be also shared with you guys in the coming weeks. The wallet integration for the development was completed today, which kind of took us a day or two to figure out, but that was kind of one of the toughest parts in figuring this out, but it's done. In terms of coming up for the week, we guys would be sharing with you a video gameplay trailer as well. There's also a lot of point of interest that are going to be added onto the maps. So we'll be adding a couple of point of interest that we have shared with you guys in the Discord server. However, that would still be kept on adding as we go developing the alpha. In regards to marketing, we have... Sorry, excuse me 1 second. My cat just ended up popping up in the middle. In regards to marketing, we have actually had one more team member onboarded today. So he has started working today, and he's going to be focusing on more approaching influencers. With influencers, we are being very niche, and we are planning to target very specific influencers, whether they're famous or not. We're looking for someone who runs a crypto gaming community or has a play to earn channel and focuses on the play to earn category in the crypto industry. So we are looking for very specific niche of crypto influencers, because our marketing is going to be split into two different audiences. We are targeting gamers as well as we're targeting crypto people, because gamers would eventually add value. So we have a specific person now full-time focusing on approaching influencers. Also, at the same time, his role is going to be to approach publications, crypto publications such as Cointelegraph, bitcoinnews.com, news.bitcoin.com, and also gaming publications like GameStop, Indie Games Out, and so on. Another update on marketing is we are also speaking to a few marketing agencies. These are not PR companies. These are marketing agencies that come in and help you develop a brand identity. We call it a playbook, which if you see all the big crypto projects and if you see the publications or the articles that are published about them, everyone follows streamlined. Everyone's article looks alike, even though there's different publishers posting those articles. That's because everyone has a playbook, a set of brand guidelines, and so on. So we are actually looking for an agency that can help us define specific brand guidelines and set up a playbook for our marketing and content planner for our company. We have recently announced a giveaway for Bezoge's and Antonio Brown's merchandise. I don't know if many people saw that, but if you see our Twitter, we are actually right now giving away Bezoge's and Antonio Brown's merchandise. Apart from this, there's one more aspect on that would come down down the future. That is, we are looking at also studios that can help us produce a cinematic game trailer. A cinematic game trailer. If anyone's wondering why we're not doing this in-house, it's because this requires a lot of art and direction. And this is not going to be a gameplay trailer. This is going to be very similar to... It's going to be a very cinematic and will clearly say that this is not in-gameplay footage. The reason why we're looking at this is because all the games, specifically if you look at any big game out there, whether it's a crypto game or a non-crypto game, they usually, even before they launch any demo of their game, the first thing that comes out is a cinematic trailer. We went the other way around, because a lot of people can drop trailers, but when it comes to the final product, many fail to deliver, and as we get closer to the alpha, which is, if many of you wondering when that it's gonna be end of this month. So we are also open to accepting suggestions, because right now we're just taking quotes and proposals from all the cinematic studios. So if anyone has suggestions on game trailer, any studio that's very good at game trailers, we're open to suggestions over here. This is gonna be a little bit long term, because game trailers take a while. So our goal over here is to finish this trailer by the time we release the beta, which is gonna be end of this year. Game trailers take time. It's the animation, the script, the storyboard. So this would take at least another 2 months to. We will also be, yeah. So I'm also pleased to announce that we will be opening up the alpha registration. We'll be submitting a form on our Discord server and Telegram today after this AMA. So feel free to go fill it up. It's there's in terms of the alpha registration, there's only going to be a few limited spots, and there's going to be a lot of different criteria that we are going to look at when it comes to accepting the applicants for the alpha. So in the beginning, because we have server limitations, there's going to be a limited amount. Almost 100 people in the start to onboard. Now the bugs, as we understand the server load and scale the servers, we will be looking at adding more players into the alpha. The selection process is, if many of you would be wondering, is going to be based on multiple factors. We look at the community contributions that have been done by the community members. We'd also be looking at what kind of Discord engagements they have had. We'll look at what their Bezoge holdings and their Bezoge token holdings. We'll also be looking at whether they have any influential channels or they run a gaming community. There's many more factors that come into the selection process when we're looking into alpha. There's nothing one concrete. A very blunt example that I can think over my head would be computer specs. So the purpose of alpha is more than to make a specific person happy and giving him early access. It's more to understand how the game is performing and optimizing the game and fixing the bugs within the game. Because the alpha, as good as it might be, there still would be a lot of bugs. That's why it's called the alpha. So if somebody, for example, has a computer that's running on a Windows 8 and that probably has the 2 GB RAM, something that's pretty old, which not many people have these days, he would actually get a higher chance of being selected for the alpha, because we want to understand how the game performs in his specs. This is just one of the examples. So we would be considering a lot of factors when it comes to selecting the alpha, but we'll be onboarding a lot of players quite quickly. So the goal is, at the start of the alpha, we're looking at onboarding around 100 people, but within a month, we're going to scale this up to 1,000 people. That's the goal of alpha. This is it for when it comes to updates for this week. I'll be open to taking questions now if anyone has them. No questions? Hey, Crypto Man. I brought you in as a speaker. I think you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi, Dog Lord. This is Sass here.
Hey, Sas, how you doing?
How you doing? All right.
Good.
I think I'm not sure if that question has been asked before, but in the alpha, there won't be any tokenomics or anything. That it will just be purely testing the game out. So you won't be able to play to earn or anything else until a further later stage within the game. So we were talking a month, 2 months. I don't know.
That the tokenomics aspect would start somewhere in the beta. Not in the alpha. Yes, you'll be able to kill enemies. We already have 2 enemies that we have shared in the Discord, and we do have plans to add a few more enemies before we launch the alpha, and we'll grow that as we go. The goal eventually is to add as many memes, even if it's not a crypto meme and it's just a famous meme. We just want to be able to adapt that bit into the game. But to answer your question, no, at this point you won't be able to have tokens or blocks into your wallet if you kill an enemy. It's only going to be after, as we get closer to the beta, and during this stage we would launch all the tokens, and would first we'll start it off with the test net, and then we'll move it to the main net.
Right. Thanks.
Welcome. Anything else before I bring anybody else on board? Okay. I have CoinCord right now, then I'll answer Crypto Panda, then Hotel Guide, and then Little MF. Hey, CoinCord.
Hello, Doglord. I think you just answered it with the testnet, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. So during the alpha stage, will the testers have the ability to summon? It was mentioned previously that they would have, but just like a bit of clarity around that, please.
As there's still 15 more days, 15 to 17 more days for the alpha. If not happening before the alpha, it would probably happen within a month from now. So it will happen much before the beta. I can't give you a specific timeline on this because Jeff's been on holiday for 4 days. He's coming back tomorrow, day after, which is the good news. So I could speak to Jeff and exactly understand what's the timeline. We did want to do it before the alpha, but I can't commit right now on that. If not
All right.
alpha, we do plan to, before even bringing all the other 8 blocks onto Polygon network to actually start killing and letting people take tokens into their testnet, summoning would start on the mainnet.
All right, clear. Thanks, DL. I'll have a chat with Jeff when he's back as well.
Sure. Okay, Crypto Panda. Hey, Crypto Panda.
Hello. Quick question. I'm sure that my husband and I are not the only ones that both hold, for Bezoge, but what in the case of, would there be an alpha spot available if we were able to confirm that combined total of, Bezoge, and Bezoges and any of the other, qualifiers combined would be able to qualify for the alpha, even though, like, for example, he carries all the Bezoge and I carry all the Bezoges, et cetera, et cetera?
That would be a very case-to-case basis, because it's an exceptional request, but we could probably look around and find a solution to this, because right now it's gonna be, you'll only be able to play it with the wallet that has the Bezoge in it. That's kind of mandatory. Right. As I said, there's multiple factors we'd look at when we are accepting applications for the alpha. So having base token is a factor that we would consider, but we would also look at many other factors, which this would not be the key deciding factor. But yes, if there's a specific request, then in the form you can actually mention this, and we could find a solution to this. I think that wouldn't be a problem, because we are manually gonna be creating applications for the alpha.
I got you. It was more or less a question, like not necessarily just for us, but also for, I'm sure we're not the only couple that have a combined bag, you know?
Yeah, since it's a Google form that's going to be filled out. Right now, it's just going to be on our Telegram and Discord server after this AMA, but we would eventually be adding it to our website as well by next week. So if in the form there's a section where we're asking why do you need an access to alpha, and you could mention that in over there the reason why you mentioned the wallet address, and you could mention the wallet address that holds Bezoge tokens, which is separate, and we'll definitely look into that. Okay, I'll take another one on. Mr. Hotel Guy.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had two questions. The first question was like all my stuff is in Trust Wallet right now, and will everything be safe in Trust Wallet when you guys do like the integration?
I'll have to see if we are allowing. We'll see. Sorry, can you hear me? I ended up.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So we've just integrated the wallet integration today. We're gonna start testing these wallets onto the game.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sorry, just getting random phone calls in the middle. So we just finished the wallet integration today onto the game, and it's being done directly via the code. In the coming week, we're going to start testing exactly how MetaMask and Trust Wallet and Coinbase Wallet connect to the game, and what obstacles we feel. So by next week, next week's AMA, I can have a clear answer on how you can connect Trust Wallet properly onto this.
Yeah, because with me, I just want to leave everything the same as far as like Trust Wallet. Because you know how like different other like coins, you have to get a new contract and all that. And I'll just rather have everything the same, where I'll have to switch over and all that. But you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I understand your point. Since the wallet integration just completed today, we still haven't started testing it out.
Right. And
so
then go ahead.
By next week, we'll have a much clearer answer, and we can give you guys an exact how this is gonna, how the wallets are gonna connect out.
Okay, and yeah, and this is kind of off topic, but do you think like this could hit Shiba price? This is what everyone wants to know, but like this looks very promising, but I was just curious how long, just a guess, how long did you think could hit Shiba price?
Oh, we cannot predict the prices, and we can't even comment on the prices, to be honest. Price is something that's not in our control. It completely depends upon demand and supply of the product.
Right.
It's something that goes beyond our control.
Yeah, because it looks promising, and
what we are trying to do our best is to deliver a product that people like, and our goal is eventually to add as much utility to the token as possible.
Right.
That's why we are, when I don't know if you've read the wiki, but in the wiki we have 8 in-game currencies. All these in-game currencies are going to be linked to the Bezoge token. So you'll have to use Bezoge token to be able to buy the blocks. And every time, because eventually there's also summoning, which is very similar to breeding, but we call it summoning because it fits the game. Even every time you summon a Bezoge, you'll need a certain amount of blocks, but you would also need Bezoge tokens, and Bezoge tokens that get used in the summoning process are, as of now, we've kind of 90% agreed that it's going to get burnt. So our goal is to burn as much Bezoge as possible and add as much utility to the token as possible.
Right. Yeah.
This has been the goal for us since the day we launched. That's why when it comes to the whole tokenomics that we set out, the whole description or the 1% burn and the 1% redistribution that we have set out, this all was done thinking that as much we want to just keep trying to get the burn out. As much burn is done, that's how much beneficial it is for the project.
Right. Like this is my first AMA, so like I'm new to this, like with Twitter and all that. But yeah, like I bought in last week, and yeah, everything looks pretty crisp as far as the website and everything. So yeah, I think this will be a heavy hitter.
Thank you. We're glad to have you as a Bezogian.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'll take the next person. I'll take DJ Key, and then after that I'll answer Paul, and then no, actually, Little MF has been waiting for a while, so I'll answer Little MF before I answer you, Key.
Hi, can you hear me? Hi.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me? Thanks.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey. So the last speaker, Hotel Guide, touched on it a little bit. I feel like a lot of us involved in this game probably are involved in cryptocurrencies in general. And so protecting things of value like NFTs and all sorts of currency coins is probably top priority for a lot of people. And I'm curious, I know you said you're working on connecting the wallets today. Are you considering allowing us to keep the NFTs in a hard wallet and then linking it through, say, like MetaMask? Is that something that would possibly work? I know that if I was to rent them out, that may cause technical issues.
So I can't go behind the tech that we're developing behind the renting aspect of it, but for hard wallets, as I said, I still need to test it out. But hard wallet, even personally speaking, all my assets are stored in a hard wallet. So a hard wallet is something that we would look at connecting. We understand that nobody likes moving funds across from here to there. So ideally, MetaMask is something that we're gonna probably be using Wallet Connect as a feature within the game, which is something that most of the websites and the apps currently use.
Okay.
But since we just finished the integration today, and it's completely done on a code basis, so we can't actually test it. A normal person can't test it. I cannot test it. Only the developers can test it. I cannot give you this answer until the next AMA, but do ask me this by next AMA. We'll definitely be able to give you guys more guidance on how exactly you can connect your wallet. But when we're developing this right now with the wallet integration, the devs have this in mind that we're not even considering the aspect that our users will have to move funds or Bezoge from their existing wallets. We're not even taking this as something that they have to do.
Okay. It's really just a safety issue, you know?
I understand that.
Yeah.
I would not be comfortable moving it to a new wallet just because I have to play this game.
Right.
So we're not even considering the aspect or something like, oh, we will have to have the users move something out. And if that is the case, we would actually try to figure out how not to do that.
Yeah. Okay. And then on the game side, did you say in a previous AMA, maybe that there is like an on-game or in-game wallet?
So that would come out in the beta stage, where if there's users that don't have a wallet and somebody who's new and he's just coming into the game to play and he's not even crypto friendly, we are gonna be incorporating, in a way, we'll be creating a wallet for them, so they don't even realize that they're playing a crypto game. A lot of people who come in would not, who are new and don't understand this, would just start playing the game as if it's a normal game, and that's what would help take this game.
Okay.
We cater to crypto audience, then there's a barrier to entry because you need first MetaMask, then you need ETH or Matic onto your MetaMask, and so on. We are trying to make it a barrier to exit rather than a barrier to entry. Because if you're playing a game without realizing you're playing a crypto game, and once you realize that you actually have blocks which can actually be converted into something like Ether or Bezoge tokens, which has value, then it becomes an exit to barrier. So if you have money, you're going to try to figure out anyways how to take that out.
Right.
So you will find a way.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay. I will take DJ Key. Hey Key, sorry I kept you waiting for a while.
Hi, Doglord. No problem at all. Just a few things. First of all, a massive thank you to Carrie for attending the Texas Blockchain Summit. I'm not sure everybody here realizes that she gave up her time to do that to promote Bezoge last weekend. Secondly, a big thank you to Thomas and Camille and all the gang who are involved in the big Antonio Brown autograph giveaway and the NFT giveaways. So what I was going to get to is this. We used to have some recordings from Dean for YouTube of these AMAs, and I just wondered if that's something that we can somehow do again. I know it's difficult for Dean sometimes. And secondly, is there any movement on contacting YouTubers to give us some good reviews? I know we had a few YouTube channels who were doing well for us, but we haven't seen one of those for a few weeks.
Regarding the recording, I'm already recording this AMA, and we're also now planning to add a transcript to these AMAs onto our Medium channel. So within 24 hours, you will actually see this AMA being posted up on YouTube, and also a transcript being posted onto Medium. A shorter transcript compared to the AMA, because we have to have someone write it out. Regarding YouTube's, I think I don't know. I think you probably missed the start of this AMA. I'm not sure. We actually have somebody that started full time today onto our team, and his responsibility is mainly to approach all the influencers that are talking about crypto games, like anybody who's reviewing play to earn games, Axie Infinity, for example, Illuvium, and so on. Any crypto influencer that is targeting or is covering the play to earn industry, as well as publications at the same time, like Bitcoin News and Cointelegraph and so on.
Okay.
We have ongoing discussions with them in terms of releasing publications. So we have somebody full time now who's contacting all of this, and this is in house, so it's not a PR agency.
Great. Okay.
So it makes things more effective and quick.
Fabulous. Thank you. Don't forget, everybody listening, please retweet and like any tweet you see, any Instagram post, any Facebook post. Thanks, everybody. Keep up the great work.
I'd like to also thank Key. He's been really active and helpful with us on the Twitter. All the Twitter posts and all the work content you see on Twitter, that's all Key. So thank you, Key. I'd also like to thank Carrie and Camille and Thomas. Yeah, they played a huge role in helping this community get AD on board. So really, thank you guys. Appreciate your hard work. I have Paul who has requested, so I'll get Paul online. Hey, Paul. Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, I missed the first maybe 20 minutes of the AMA. So if I'm asking repeat questions, really apologise for that. Well, I've got about 4 questions. I thought about them, so I'll just take it from the top. And if you can't answer it, then it's fine. It's okay. I'll wait for another AMA. So it's regarding the blocks that are going to be on the Polygon mainnet. So those 8 magic currencies that we're referring to, which are going to be incorporating into the game, and I understand that those contracts will be released at a time in the near future. I don't think a date is set. However, I'm more interested in just understanding the summoning process based on the wiki. It states that you need to spend X number of blocks, so whatever colors you have, you use, as well as you need to spend X amount of Bezoge. So I'm trying to just understand if, for example, we're going to have the blocks as well as Bezoge on the mainnet Polygon network, or is it we're only going to have the blocks on the mainnet Polygon network, and it's your IP that it has created an invisible bridge, so to speak. So in summary, there will only ever be one Bezoge token, and it will be the ERC20, which we will hold, if you understand that question.
I understand your question. So we are working very closely with the Polygon team to create a bridge for Bezoge between the Ether network and the Polygon network. So you will very soon able to access Bezoge token onto Polygon.
Okay.
This being said, this does not mean that we are going to be minting new tokens. So the Bezoge supply is what it's going to be. We're not never going to issue more Bezoge tokens, but we are going to allow people to move tokens from Ether network to Polygon network.
Okay. All right. That's good. Thank you for that clarification. So I'm just extending that a little further to my next question in terms of the summoning for the NFTs, if I can. Yeah, thanks. So when it comes then to me thinking about, all right, I want to summon some NFTs, with respect to my OGs. I have my OG NFTs, and I want to summon some more to support the game so that when new gamers are coming in, once the alpha and beta is there, and I'm investing in that frame, I'm thinking then that, okay, it might be worthwhile holding some ETH on the Polygon or wrapped ETH on the Polygon network, and then going ahead and buying subsequent blocks and subsequent Bezoge that I can use for that summoning process, correct? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Next question, if I can, is with regards to, I think Jeff answered it on one of the AMAs, but I just want a confirmation. So I'm definitely, I understand there's a minting limit on each wallet. However, from a summoning perspective, there is no limit, correct? So if today I have 10 NFTs inside a wallet, and once that summoning process opens up, I could effectively use that wallet and summon an additional 5, correct?
You could, but you need to keep something in mind. When you're summoning, your cost of summoning keeps getting higher.
Yes. That's fine.
So,
okay, all right.
The cost of Bezoge does not get higher.
Okay.
It's just the cost of summoning.
Sure.
And there's always a cool-off period as well. So you can't just keep summoning from one Bezoge constantly every day.
No.
We're gonna set a cool-off period. We have not decided what that's gonna be, but maybe 5 days or 7 days is what we're looking at.
Okay, absolutely fine, no problem there. I have another question, if I can. Sorry. Sure. So when we're wanting to summon, let's say if I use that example of those 10 NFTs, and let's say I decide that those OGs I want to rent, while they're being rented, will we be able to summon, or must we summon all and then rent them, and then they're untouchable? If you understand.
Oh, while you're renting them out, you won't be able to summon them because someone else is using them. They will not be able to summon as well because they're renting.
Yep.
They'll be able to mint weapons, but they won't be able to summon.
Okay. All right. That is it. All right. You've been a great help. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you. I'm going to get Bezogian rule and then another damn Aaron. Okay, that's a funny name. Hey, Bezogian rule.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I got a question. So, when the game kicks off, we have 4,096 as it stands now, correct? And we're
Yeah.
going to be summoning to, to have more NFTs available for players to play the game. If the demand for dojis is higher than what's already produced, is it a possibility that there's going to be people wanting to play the game can't get in? And if so, how would we handle that volume if there wasn't enough Bezoge summoned at the time?
We'd actually. Okay, so if it's a hypothetical situation, right? So if in case something like this was happening, we as a treasury we own almost around 300 Bezogis, which we do plan to use them in corporations with guilds, but if required, we would start summoning them to increase the population of Bezogis. Second thing we could look at from this, and something else that we could do to help meet the demand, would be to reduce the cooldown period. So let's say if the cooldown period was 7 days and we saw that the demand is too high, and you'd be able to see the demand is too high by seeing what the Bezogis are trading on the secondary market. And if that was the case, we just reduce the cool off period to maybe 2 days or 3 days for a certain amount of time just to meet the demand. And once that's done, we'd actually set things back to normal.
Okay, thanks.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I was just concerned that, if the game kicks off well, and we say there was 50,000 Bezogis and there was 100,000 people to play the game, how can we speed that process up, not to have people walk away from it and actually be able to play the game? That's only one of the things I was thinking about in that aspect.
We'd introduce some kind of scheme within the game itself to incentivize user behavior. And if we want the users or players to act in a certain way, we would actually introduce rewards within the game to motivate players to do something like that. So if we want people to start minting more weapons, we would think of some in-game rewards or a competition where the leaderboard has Bezoge tokens. We could have a summoning leaderboard out incentivizing people to summon, and whoever summons gets rewards in Bezoge tokens or blocks. We can actually incentivize user behavior. So we want to see how the game plays out. And yes, obviously, certain places we might see that there's a lack. We are slacking and we need players to start doing certain aspects of the game that are not being done, so we actually motivate them by providing rewards in those particular segments of the game.
Okay. I just didn't want to see people on the outside looking in, trying to get into the game and possibly having access. So that would be, I just.
No, we've thought about that before.
All right.
That's why we as a treasury are also holding almost close to 7%,
okay.
6 or 7% of Bezogis. In case if something happens, we ourselves could start summoning more Bezogis from what we're holding.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you. I'll get someone else on board now. Another damn Aaron. It's a funny name. Hello. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah.
Okay. So you said it's going to cost Bezoge. Do we send it in one time to your wallet, or are we going to have to spend an Ethereum transfer fee every time?
You'd be using Matic. because
Okay.
the game's going to be on Polygon network,
Did you bridge
and it won't be
Bezoge
sent
over
to
to
us.
Matic?
It's going to be sent. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're working with the Polygon team, and we'll be bridging Bezoge over to Matic. So you'd be able to move tokens between ERC and Matic as
Okay.
well.
Okay, cool.
And you'll also be able to buy Bezoge tokens on Matic.
Yeah,
But we're not
Matic's-
going to be increasing the supply of Bezoge.
Matic's fee is much more reasonable.
Yeah. The game's not playable on Ether, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's because of so many microtransactions that would happen in terms of every block being registered in your wallet. The game that we thought about this in the start, and we kind of realized this game cannot be played on Ether.
Yeah. The second thing is, if it was more of a statement for the guy that was concerned about his Trust Wallet. If y'all don't get Trust Wallet working properly, you can just use your seed phrase in MetaMask and not have to spend a transfer fee for all your stuff. Just a little tip.
Yeah, that's another option, but that's what we recommended people to do when they were buying Bezoge tokens.
Right on.
Bezoge NFTs.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. Anyone has any other questions?
Doglord, I have one if it's open.
Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
So we've mentioned a couple of times about the bridge over to Polygon. Twofold question. What's the estimated timeline for that bridge? How much notice are you going to give the community that is coming into play to allow equal amount of time to be moved across? And then, second, the tag on to that question is, in the unfortunate event that during a bridge coins go missing, how could we, like, if that does happen, what would we have to do to recuperate that? Or is it just a case of shit happens?
The bridge is going to be a proof of stake bridge with Polygon, so we're going to definitely test it multiple times before we allow users to actually start using their tokens to bridge across. The process is going to be very similar to exactly how everyone bridged their Ether token to Polygon network. It's exactly the same process. It's not going to be any different. The bridge is actually going to be a polygonal bridge as well. So it's going to look alike, it's going to operate in a similar way, and it's going to be on our website. So we're going to make things very simple. In terms of timeline, we are looking at it being done before the summoning contract goes live. So once again, it would probably be in anywhere between the next 2 to 4 weeks, and we would give the community a very heads up of at least 2 weeks prior to let the community know that we're creating a bridge. It would only make difference to the community if they are planning to play the game to move a certain amount of tokens to Polygon network, because just because we are bridging between Polygon and Ether doesn't mean that we're completely discarding Ether. The liquidity pool is still going to be active on Ether. Bezoge is still going to be tradable on the Ether network because there's liquidity in there, and that liquidity is locked forever. We cannot take that liquidity out. So we're going to be adding another liquidity to the Polygon network QuickSwap exchange to be able to buy and sell Bezoge tokens in there and the blocks. But we'll give enough ample amount of time if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And then whilst you're testing it out, is that going to be on the live?
On the mainnet, yeah.
It's going to be on the mainnet, right? So you test it multiple times. You mentioned that you're going to keep the. Are you going to move one of the dev and or the treasury across? Because I'm just thinking about the 2% redistribution on the poly versus the burn plus redistribution on ETH.
So we haven't actually decided how much percentage of the treasury and Bezoge holdings we're going to move to the Polygon network yet. It will either be 50-50 or we haven't really come up with a final number on that.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. In the Ether network, you have 1% distribution and 1% burn. On the Polygon network, you only have 2% redistribution. There will not be any burn.
Wait,
But
well, right now it's closer to 1.55% being burnt and 0.45 being redistributed, right?
no, I think the burn is around. I'll have to recheck that. I think it's around 1.1%.
Okay.
Last time I checked, it was 56 quadrillion that was burnt, around 56 to 56.5.
Okay,
So
cool.
that would amount to around 1.1% approx. But to clarify things further down the line for everyone, on the Polygon network you also have burn, but it's not the direct burn via the redistribution. It's gonna be if there's users that are playing the game and they want to mint some special weapons, or they want to summon some Bezogis, they're gonna have some weapons are gonna be really hard to mint, so you're gonna require a huge amount of blocks to mint those weapons, and you would some people would actually put in the hours to actually play the game. Some people don't have that kind of time and they still want those weapons, so they're gonna end up buying these blocks from the exchange, and they're gonna use these blocks to mint the weapons. So when they buy these blocks from the exchange and they use it to mint the weapons, they're indirectly burning Bezos tokens. It's not a direct burn, but it's an indirect burn. And also, when you're summoning new Bezogis out of your Bezogis, you're using Bezos tokens as well. That also goes into the burn wallet. So there's a different kind of burn that's happening on Polygon compared to what's happening on Ether.
All right, great. And have we sort of got closer to a firmer number of amount of Bezoge and block requirements that are going to be needed for summoning, or is it still being discussed, decided?
Still being discussed.
Okay. Super. Thanks, DL.
Thank you. Thanks, Bobby. Anyone else have any questions? Zach, you have any questions?
Yeah, man. No, great AMA. Fantastic, man. I liked how that whole thing was put out there. And yeah, I wanted to also thank a lot of guys in the community. Want to thank Tommy, working on the AB deal. Want to thank AD as well. He does amazing music. Carrie, she took her time out. Camille, very generous. Giveaway competition he did. And yeah, and all the other guys, Key, Howard, Crypto, Bobby, Paul, and all our followers, man. I see a lot of guys in here that are here on every AMA. And yeah, that's it, man. And thank you, Dog Lord. You're fantastic, man. Thanks for leading the AMA.
Yeah, usually I'm the one who's just sitting behind the computer and typing out what's to be answered and handling everything else. As we wait, if there's any other questions, I'm gonna drop a preview of what your pets are gonna look like. I hope everyone likes that. It's still a first draft. It's subject to change. We're still completing.
Are you dropping it on Twitter?
Dropping it on Discord.
All right.
That is freaking awesome.
So the Bezoge pet with the robotic kind of arm is gonna be the old man that someone has, because he's with a stick. and this is gonna be the baby Bezoge.
That looks wicked, dog look.
So this is still not the final version.
Hey, that's
So
cool, man.
I'll still make it clear that these are subject to change.
So good.
Looks like
So
poodles,
good.
bro.
Yeah, we wanted them to look very. We had a very we had the initial draft of Bezoge, but it looked. What we did was we made it very glitchy because there was like a glitch in the code. When that's the reason why these pets exist. But then it looked very alike the actual Bezojis that we have right now. So we decided to the pets should look completely different compared to the Bezoji characters.
Cool, man. So we got so these are like tag-alongs to the characters, huh?
Yeah. And we wanted to make sure that the color combination matches, and we have 5 elements of colors because Bezojis have these many elements. So to make sure that everyone, if someone has a purebred golden Mitsoji, then his pet should also be purebred golden Mitsoji. So,
Quick question, man. When do you think this will be complete? So upload on and just populate through the network. People get to see it on Opensea.
as soon as we are comfortable with the final renderings, that I would say give us another week. But then we have a dev who has OCD, so I really can't say that.
I was asking the question for the community, not for myself, man.
Yeah, so if his OCD kicks in, then it's probably gonna take a little while longer.
All right, sounds good, man.
But we're getting there. These have been our 3D model has been working on this for like almost 2 weeks now. More than 2 weeks because 1 week was off.
Cool. I also noticed that alpha registrations were open today. I don't know if that was mentioned in the space. Just wanted to mention
That was mentioned in the space. I'm gonna make that announcement right now as well, so people can just. We have a form, a very simple Google form that needs to be submitted, and once we start selecting the applicants, we're gonna get in touch with them. Discord is very important. Discord is kind of a mandatory requirement for all alpha entries because we're gonna give them specific roles, which are alpha testers, which is gonna help us identify these people, create a separate channel for them, so as they play the game, they can discuss about the game. Because by the time the alpha gets ready, we ourselves as team would not have enough time to explore the whole map and see where the bugs are, and this is where the alpha testers would come and help us, so we can just quickly identify all these bugs and fix them and move ahead on in terms of scaling this game out. Because alpha is going to be a little rough, little buggy. You might be good in one region of the map, but you might start walking amongst the trees, like the trees don't have any correlation. So it will completely depend on that. That's why we have also created ticket tool on Discord. That's where we would expect all our alpha testers to submit the bugs. It makes it very easy and organized, so we can just track it one by one and just keep solving it and closing each ticket as we go.
Cool, man. So we look forward to people signing up and registering for the alpha version.
I don't know if Jeff knows that we were opening alpha registrations today. He knows we were doing it next week. There's someone asking a question, aka crypto. Hello. Your mic's on mute, aka.
Okay. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Just got a notification that this space is taking place. Can you just give me a short explanation what this is all about. I just know NFTs, game, and I don't really know anything like what's all about. I just got in, I saw your page and started following you because I thought it's all about NFT, and so on Twitter. And
So I'll be very quick on this because we've been going on around this AMA and a lot of people in here have already heard us before. So I'll just go on a very quick brief and give you a small summary, and I also have another request to take. This is being recorded, so you can actually visit our official channel tomorrow on YouTube, and you can actually hear this whole recording again. And we'll also have a transcript being posted on the Medium by tomorrow.
okay.
To just give you a brief on exactly what we're up to over here, what we're developing is a crypto MMORPG game. You have this. The idea came out. We earlier started off as a meme coin, and the idea came that a crypto play to earn game, which is fun to play, doesn't exist in the crypto space. Yes, you have Axie Infinity and other games, but as simple as that game is, and as beautiful that the game is, it's not fun to play. You do get bored of it. The only reason why everyone's playing it is because it's making money while playing. As simple as that. So we are developing a game which we've taken inspiration from some of the best games out there. To give you an example, we've taken the building mechanism from Axie Infinity. We have taken the world inspiration from Zelda. We have also taken the lore similar to what Warhammer 40k has. I don't know if you know that. Also, we have added the meme aspect to it. So the game is all about you have this Bezoge NFT characters that you buy, and you go into the lands of Bezogia, and you kill these enemies. And the enemies are also other different crypto memes like Shiba Inu, Akita, Feg, and so on. And by killing these enemies and exploring the world, you end up earning blocks. These blocks can then be used to mint newer weapons and stronger weapons, and also to summon more Bezogis. And this is just the alpha and the beta version of the game. As we develop the game further, we have a lot of more ideas on how to bring land and more powers on the land and guilds and many other aspects.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
We have, if you want to know in depth about our game, we have a wiki on our website. It's called bezogia.com, and in there, if you go to wiki.bezogia.com, you can actually understand the whole in-game mechanics of our game.
Oh, okay. Nice one. Sounds nice and interesting. Thank you very much for that. So, like, just one short question. Yeah, okay, you have to like buy one of the figures, one of the NFTs to like start playing the game.
For now, yes. In future, we're gonna be adding a rent to earn mechanism. So anybody who owns this NFT can actually rent out these NFTs to someone who does not have one.
Okay.
And the owner of the Bezoge would actually end up getting a certain percentage of the blocks that are earned by the player playing the game.
Oh, and that's Matic. I heard it's Matic, not Ethereum.
Yeah, the game, our token right now only exists on Ether network.
Oh, okay.
But the NFTs exist on Polygon.
Okay.
We are also going to be bridging these NFTs into Polygon network, the token into Polygon network very soon.
So it starts soon. It's not available to play right now, but soon, right?
The alpha will release end of this month.
Okay.
We just opened alpha registrations on our Discord server. We just announced it like a few minutes ago.
So last question: what's the deposit like? How much Matic do you need, like, or Ethereum?
So you need right now the NFTs. There's only around. The last time I checked yesterday was around 365 NFTs left,
okay.
And you need 0.096 Ether to buy one.
Okay.
And in order to mint, the Matic gas fees is almost negligible. You need like 0.05 or something.
Okay.
Like it's negligible.
Okay, nice one. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll take DXP Zach back on.
Hey, sorry. Can I ask a question? Or just,
sure. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah. Sorry to jump in. I was just checking the announcement and the form, the URL, the Google Docs permissions. We don't have it. It seems that They're closed down to your organization only. So I don't think they're public.
Sorry. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
just let me
change
know.
that then. Thanks for
Okay. All right. Cheers.
attention. Anyone else have any questions? So is anyone excited about the alpha? I am.
I think it's what we've all been waiting for, so we can't wait. During the alpha, just out of interest, during the alpha, the summoning process will be available, correct?
No, we will try. Like the goal was to get the summoning process out as soon as possible. So the alpha, the game developers that are working on the alpha are not going to be responsible for the summoning process.
So there's no dependency. Perfect. So the summoning process is completely independent to the alpha and to the beta. Got it.
Because the summoning process requires another smart contract being coded out.
All right.
It's not the smart contract.
Okay. That's cool.
So it's to go more technical. It's like there's a mint function of Bezogis on the existing contract that everybody is minting Bezogis from, and the owner of that can be minted, and that ownership needs to be given to another smart contract, which is going to be the summoning smart contract. So more Bezogis can be minted. It's a little more complicated. It's not the job of the game developer. It's more of the blockchain developer. So it's not that we're going to start with the alpha. Once we're done with the alpha, we're going to move on to the summoning aspect. The summoning aspect is going to on-go.
Okay.
But will we be able to finish the smart contract and test it and make sure it's exploit-proof by the alpha? I'm not sure. I mean, I can only give you that answer by next week's AMA.
No, okay, so that's great. So it sounds to me that you're working in parallel streams. Perfect. Resources, therefore, are trying to get the summoning contract established as soon as possible. And there's nothing stopping us from doing effectively summoning, alpha or no alpha. Once it's live, we can start to summon, correct?
Because also for the summoning to begin, we need all the 8 different currencies to go live on Polygon network, and the Bezoge bridge to be created. So there's a step-by-step process before the final summoning contract can be created.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thanks. I'm happy to put my hat in to test the summoning process. Because it's my intent actually to summon. So if you haven't gathered that already, so I'm here to support the game. While my brother is playing in alpha, hopefully he's able to test. I want to be able to summon in the meantime to support the launch of the game when it goes to beta, and then beyond. So I'm really positive for the game. So I just want to make sure that we've got enough Bezoges out there, in spite of the calling off period, etc. Blah blah blah. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that. That's why we in the start we will keep the cool off period less, because we understand there's much lesser Bezogis out there compared to the demand that could possibly come. And personally, in my opinion, I mean, like, I'm not going to shill my own project, but I do believe we have something beautiful that doesn't exist right now.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think everyone does. Just me putting my business development hat on for a second. So if, for example, are there any special, like, let's say, privileges or let's say deals or offers available to those individuals that really go and intend to summon hard, right? It has a cost, right? All things being equal, taking on more risk, but risk and reward at the same time. Is there anyone that I can talk to with regards to maybe if I want to summon 500 or 1,000 or 10,000, is there anyone I can talk to about that?
You could drop a DM to me or
Yeah.
Jeff, and my username is
Yeah.
Doglord. We could definitely look at that, but honestly, at this point, we really don't have. We haven't thought about it, because the more Bezogis you summon, you're actually ending up getting more NFTs in your
Yeah.
wallet, which you could sell in Opensea.
Yeah.
So yes, you're taking a risk, but you're also getting the reward at the same
Sure.
time. There's a risk and reward ratio that you might be able to sell this Bezogis if the games get successful, and how much this game is gonna get successful is probably something you could see at once the alpha is out, and you could kind of understand that, okay, is this gonna stretch the mile?
Yeah. So my thinking is, like, as an incentive, right? Is it equal to summon? For example, if you're let's say if you're a larger holder of Bezoge, or is it?
Oh, it's gonna be same for everyone. It's not gonna change for whether if it's someone holding 100 Bezogis, 200 Bezogis, or someone holding 2
Okay,
Bezogis.
so it's fair game. It's fair game for everybody, no matter what. I'm okay with that too. That's a good principle. I like it, as long as that's true. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be fair. It's always gonna be alike for everyone. And also, the reason why we're not allowing users to actually get tokens in the alpha is because we want to keep it fair. So by the time the beta comes out, everybody who has a Bezoge character would be able to play. The rent-to-earn mechanism is still going to take us to the final version, because that requires a lot of testing. That's something that's not out there, and we're not copying someone's code, we are coding it from scratch. So that would require a little bit more time after the beta towards the final version of the game, which is in the beginning of next year. But by beta, we would allow people to actually get tokens or earn blocks into their wallet. But in the alpha, we don't, because in alpha, not everybody is getting the access to the game. Hope that clears stuff out.
Yeah. So how are you going to do that actually? When you have basically the alpha itself doesn't have any. Sorry, I'm confused there. So
by the time the alpha comes out, you probably won't. When you kill your enemies, you're not going to be able to earn blocks.
Oh, earn blocks. Sorry, but you're not going to be able to earn blocks. I understand, but however, you are going to be able to, for example, buy blocks because they're the contract.
Yeah,
got it. All right, I understand. Sorry, earn blocks.
You'll be able to buy blocks from QuickSwap, or we also integrate QuickSwap into our game itself, so you don't have to actually go to a different website to buy them. You'll be able to buy the blocks and mint and gain summon new Bezogis. But when it comes to killing, no. So because you might not have an access to alpha, but everybody else could still summon a Bezogi by just buying the blocks.
Understood. Yeah.
So it becomes a fair game for everyone. Everyone has access to buying the blocks.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Thank you.
I have another request from Chris, so I'm going to let Chris come on.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So for summoning, will you need to be like playing the game in the game, or is it done more on the blockchain or on Bezoge.com?
In the start, it will be both on Bezoge.com and within the game. But after the beta comes out, it's going to be in game.
Gotcha.
Because we might not be able to give everyone the access to alpha by the time we announce the summoning process.
Gotcha.
So it could either be the easier way to do it would be on the website, but also then another way is to do it via the smart contract, because the summoning process is going to take place on the blockchain. It's gonna again require pulling out requests from Chainlink, because we are integrating in the summoning aspect as well, because there's different colors. So we're gonna integrate Chainlink again for the summoning process, and we're gonna use Chainlink VRF for it. randomize it and make sure it's completely random and the proof is on the blockchain.
Yep.
Anyone has any other questions? Okay. Okay, there's one more request. PH. I'll answer PH and then we'll wrap up this AM because it's also almost 1:30 at my end. Hey, BH. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, get it?
How's it going?
It's Monday. Lunchtime.
Seems disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Monday. But hey, so since there'll be no more summoning at the alpha, and you say the only way to get the blocks is by buying it. I'm assuming you will have to go through the Bezoge token, right? As the pair.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, and the redistribution and all of that will take place in the Matic.
Yeah, it will take place on Polygon network.
Sounds good. Yeah, man.
You'll be able to buy the blocks. The summoning, we'll try our best to launch it by the time alpha comes out. If we can't, because it's subject to testing it multiple times and making sure it's working properly. If not coming out before the alpha, it will come out in a week or two from the alpha at max.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it. And yeah, you should be on AMA a lot more, buddy. We like what
I will. I just sorted out another Twitter account to be able to hop in on these AMAs now. So if Jeff uses this account, I have another Twitter account to actually come on.
Nice. Yeah, keep up the good work, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Appreciate it. See you around.
Later.
I'll get Camille on board, and then we'll wrap up this AMA.
I like you more when you're sober and in a relationship. Makes you more mature. Hey, I wanted to let Kamal come on and have.
Hey, Kamal.
Hey guys, I just got a quick question for the physical items to be traded among the players. Is that also going to be on the Poly network, or are we going to have our own space to trade items?
In-game items, you mean?
In-game items, yes.
So items will be tradable on. We want them to be tradable in our in-game marketplace. We'll have our own in-game marketplace. They would be available on Opensea as well. Okay, to clearly answer your question, yes, on Polygon network itself, and we'll also give people the option to buy those items against Ether, because that's what would add more value and would incentivize people to mint more, because they can either buy it via Bezoge tokens or they can also buy it with Ether directly, and that's going to be in a marketplace that we create within the game.
Got it. So final question. I understand. I understand. Final question. Would that be going back to liquidity?
No, the items that will. Okay, so there's items that would be launched by the treasury. So a certain amount would go back to treasury, but there would be a lot of items that people will be able to mint within the game by playing the game and using the blocks to mint those items. So if they're selling those items in the marketplace, the funds are going to the players. We are going to be taking a small percentage as commission or trading fees that would go into the treasury. That is our revenue model. We want as much trading as possible between the players. If that makes sense.
So it will be going into the treasury, not it wouldn't be a portion would not go back to liquidity.
No. So by liquidity, what do you mean exactly? The liquidity for the Bezoge and the block tokens?
Yes, yes, to provide more, more safety for the physical token.
So assuming if people are buying in the marketplace by ETH, a certain percentage of that would be used to buy Bezoge tokens, and that would indirectly increase the value of the tokens itself, because the treasury is buying all the tokens back. We want to start actually.
So
Our goal
basically,
actually is that we want to start taking off Bezoge tokens off the market, and that's what would make our project successful, is that the treasury itself is buying back the tokens from the open market.
So when he mentions treasury, that wallet is Bezoge token. So even if ETH lands in it, Matic lands in it, or anything that lands in it, the purpose is to convert it and to increase the value of Bezoge token in the treasury. So the native currency of the treasury is Bezoge, the token itself. So anything linked, any activity linked to the treasury, automatically either takes away from the supply of Bezoge token or deflates or whatever. Like it applies to the same tokenomics, if that answers the question.
We keep the reason why we would keep a certain percentage in Ether on the treasury is as more and more users come on to play the game, the amount of blocks that need to be available on QuickSwap, for example, need to increase, because if people start buying the blocks at a very fast pace, the price of the blocks would go so high that it would not make sense to buy blocks anymore. So to counter this factor out, the ideal solution that we are thinking of is to add more liquidity to stabilize the price at certain points. So Ether from the trading or Ether from selling of the items would also be an Ether that has been collected from this NFT sale. A certain portion of all of this is also going to go back into adding liquidity via Bezoge tokens. So we'll buy these Bezoge tokens and we'll add this liquidity into the blocks. So we'll always hold on to some Ether just to be able to add more liquidity into the blocks later on if required via buying Bezoge tokens.
Got it. Makes a lot of sense. It just takes a while for somebody like me to put their head around it, but it makes sense.
Yeah, because in the start, for example, if you put like 50,000 blocks and you have 50 players, that's not a problem. But assume if you have 5,000 players playing the game now, your 50,000 blocks in that's in the liquidity pool is not sufficient enough. So you need to increase the value of blocks. So if you increase the value of blocks, you need to increase the value of Bezoge in the same proportion. Otherwise, you ended up creating a price gap. So to stabilize the price, we would need to increase the value of blocks that can be bought in the open market against the Bezoge tokens, but at the same time also increase the Bezoge tokens. So our goal is to start at some point start accumulating the tokens as well.
Thank you, and I want to thank everybody for the hard work, and happy birthday to everybody. There's like 3 or 4 members that have birthdays today.
Who else? I know Jeff has birthday today.
Ernesto, Mike, Jeff.
Okay, I gotta wish these guys then as well. Jeff's birthday is over. In China, it's like 1:30 now, so it's okay. He's no longer the lime of the day. If there's no any other questions, let's wrap this AMA up. I would really like to thank you guys for coming and taking your time out to listen to this. I hope I was a good host. Okay, there's no more questions. So thank you guys. Thank you for having me. This AMA recording would be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So in case if anybody's missed any part of it, by tomorrow you'll be able to listen to this on the YouTube channel, and a transcript would be submitted onto our Medium channel.
Yeah, fantastic, man.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Dog Lord. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hope everyone has a nice day.
Cheers, Dog Lord.